Hello, hi guys, welcome to Chalk Talk in Networking Technology. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important layer of the OSI model, which is layer 4 transport layer. I believe this layer is not touched by the network engineer in more detail, so that's why I'm going to discuss a very interesting topic and very interesting finding of this. And this video is going to be in a multiple series, so please bear with me. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so layer 4 transport layer is the one. Now, now the main thing here is if you see this above three, right? Layer, application layer, presentation layer, session layer. By the way, guys, if you want to learn OSI model, you know, the layers, and if you forget or if you are new, I have, very one cheat code is like आज फिर से तूने दारू P. Okay. So Aj A is for application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer. Okay. तूने तू तूने तूने right? Transport layer, network layer, data layer, and physical layer. So that's how you can easily remember this. Okay. But okay, let's start this. Now the above three layer are troubleshoot by whom? By the application engineer or server team, application developers, and servers. Okay, so they troubleshoot these three blue layers. Now the below red layer is troubleshoot by whom? It's troubleshoot by the network engineer, right? It's troubleshoot by the network engineer, network engineers or field engineers. But who will troubleshoot this interesting layer, which is transport layer? Okay, who is the guy who is responsible to troubleshoot this layer, which is transport layer? So let's suppose if any issue comes in your organization, or it's like, hey, my application is working very slow. Application team will say, hey, just check with the network team. Okay, so what happened, believe me guys, they just route the ticket between here and there, and network engineer will say, hey, check with application, check with developer, check with server team, or check with firewall load balancer if anyone is dropping or over there, and they will say, hey, just check with your network engineer. So you know the issue will keep on resolving between these two, but might be the issue is not on this two layer. Okay, so this is maybe not on the application, maybe not on the network engineer, it's the issues on the transport layer. Okay, so this video I'm going to we're going to learn about transport layer, who is responsible for transport layer. Now I have one very good diagram which will clear you a lot of doubt. See, one thing is like, if you have a one server, okay, so let's suppose the server is sitting in your one location. Now this server wants to talk to some other server which is in the some other part of the world. Okay, so let's suppose you have the connectivity between the two server. Okay, you have the connectivity. No connectivity between, let's talk about maybe they are in the same data center, but you have the connectivity between the two server. Now this server has a application. Okay, some application is running here. This server is running some application. Now this server is also running some application, and they want to consume. So this application generates some document, right? Now this document has to reach to the other part of the application which is hosted on some other server. Okay, here. Now this connectivity between the application to application is nothing but your transport layer. Okay, now, and this connectivity between the server to server is your network connectivity. In short, if you want to, if I want to tell you this, is like, in short, if I want to tell you this, this server has a IP address. Okay, let's suppose 10.1.1.1.1, and this server has a IP address, let's suppose 20.1.1.1. Okay. Now you have a server to server connectivity, but how come this document to document or application to application connectivity will happen? There is another component which is like a port number. So a port number will also come here. Now you may be wondering why we need a port number. So let's suppose I'm giving a port number 45678. Okay, and here also the port number is nothing but some number which is specific to what type of application you are using. If you're using a telnet, if you're using SSH, if you're using a well-known port number, then there will be a well-known port number, for example DNS, and all those things, right? Now this port number, let me write down this port number, is, let's suppose 12345. Okay, now combination of port number and the IP address is nothing but your transport layer reachability, right? So the packet comes from this server, reaches to this server, but how come he knows he need to deliver to this document only, or this application? Maybe this server is hosted some other application here also, right? But how come he knows that, hey, I need to do only to this application? Is nothing but your transport layer connectivity. Okay, just remember this. This is very important thing which may be not clear to you. Now if you want to dig deeper into this, okay, now let's discuss this about. So there is an application here, right? There is a sender and there is a receiver here. Okay, so this application is producing some data, right? So it's producing some data. Now who will consume this? Transport layer. Now where is your network layer? Network layer is here. The connectivity between the sender and the receiver is nothing but your network layer. Okay, now this transport layer will consume the data which is generated by the application layer, right? And then what it will do, see, it will also produce, right? What it will produce, it will produce something called the network segments. Now this producer will go to here, which will consume, what it will consume, it will consume the network segment, right? It will consume here. Now what it will produce, it will produce again the data. So if you see the flow, application layer generate the data which is consumed, and transport layer produce the network segment which is consumed here, and then the data, and it goes to the consumer, right? Now you may be wondering what, why is that happening, right? So you see, now think about this, right? If the data is generated too fast, let's say this application is generating data too fast, someone has to tell to the application layer, hey, slow down, right? And similarly here, let's suppose if he is sending, if the consumer, if he's consuming too fast, producer will say, hey, just hold on, my buffer is full, you can't send so much data to me. Now this producer and consumer, now see, it generated the network segment right here. Now they, how he knows that all the network segment is reaches to me, is via the help of something called acknowledgement and sequence number, that we are going to discuss in the next series, which is nothing but your error control. So flow control will reside here. Let me clear this down so that it will be. So where is the flow control? Flow control will be here, and error control would be here, because there is a chances that the IP layer will do some error here. So error control would be here. Now, in the next series, we will discuss in much more detail how this flow control work, how this error control works. Thank you guys for watching.